Yeah. Peace. Peace. It's Peep Game TV with
the original God Body, original freestyle MC before Rakim, the God King Son. And we were also one of the original gods who taught the God King Son how to build and destroy through constructive terms of mathematics supremely. Dohunne King, that's the God. Let's get it in.
Power Equality.
Activates creative energy, and power equality always creates equality. Let's build.
Peace. Been wanting to get with you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
You, my younger brother. Been missing you, man. You know.
Indeed.
You've been on your hiatus for a while, so
indeed,
it's time for you to come back. Let the people know, you're still alive and kicking and doing your thing, man.
Like when I was born, and it's like I'm not only doing my thing, you doing your thing out there in New Jerusalem, striving to educate the young gods, man, that they out there shooting because they can't fight. They out there, talking wild about wisdoms and bitches and niggas because they don't got the bill. So what we doing here right now today, we here for the bill. So let's add on, Dohunne. You got on the menu.
Yeah. We guide Cypher Divine. We guide ourselves divinely, or we could guide ourselves to destruction. So we choose the previous to guide ourselves divinely. And to do our duty to civilize the uncivilized.
Like when I was born. Hey, yo, God, but I'm looking at you, God. I see you wearing like a Visa. You wearing the old school Visa, which is mad hip hop. I see you wearing some plaids.
True,
you know what I mean? It's like I ain't got my wardrobe together, but I would have wore a pair. Oh,
true.
And see, look,
and I'm doing that for you, God. I'm doing that for you, God. So
hey, look, God.
Hey, look, we still lit, man.
Word is bond. We still lit. We stay lit. The God got the Visa, the plaids, and the kicks on. And look, we just putting this out there for hip hop, man. You know what? We was individuals. How you see Shadi, what he wearing right now, nobody can't wear that. Because just like back in the day when DJs used to put tape over the title of their songs, and you ain't know what song it was, I ain't telling you I'm gonna go to Delancey, ain't where to get my Visa from. I ain't telling you where to get my Cazals from. I ain't telling you where to get the New York hat. Boop. We ain't doing that because hip hop is about individuality, but it's about expression, God.
Absolutely.
Let's build, God. Let's get it in for the babies.
Absolutely.
Is this invention going to put eye doctors out of?
So, let the people know, man. What's been up with you, man, and
I've been going through trial and tribulations, which is also like in our lessons. I, John, who also am your brother, through trial and tribulation through the Isle of the Pelon, also known as Patmos. You feel me? And it's like one of my brothers from New Jerusalem, from Patterson, natural born, he tell me, yo, don't call Patterson, New Jersey. Shout out
to Nat. Shout out to Nat. Big shout out to Nat.
You feel me? The God said, don't call Patterson Patmos, which is the same as Pelon, but in our mathematics, we call the Bronx Pelon. And I was born in Patterson, but I was born and raised in Patterson and in the Bronx, which is Pelon. I lived in Pelon since 1972. So I got hip hop firsthand. I got God Body firsthand. I had New York style, you know what I mean? And used to do our numbers. I used to, word is born. When I lived in Now Justice and I was 10 years old, I can't recall who I took with me, but we jumped on the 161. And we jumped on the 161. We went down 42nd Street. Then we jumped on the train. This was about 78 when the Warriors was out.
Okay.
After we went to 42nd Street and saw the Warriors. Then I told them, yo, they like, yo, we going back. I was like, now, Cypher, we jumping on the train. I'm going to show y'all what it means to be New Yorkers. And we jumped on the train and we went up to Pelon. So I'm like about 11 years old. So we go up to Pelon and my uncle was like, hey, what's going on, nephew? Your mom's dropped you off? Nah, I came up here Dolo.
Oh.
Anyway, went back to Patterson, got my ass whooped. And the dudes I took with me got in trouble, but that's what we do. Shout out to School 20, Miss Brown, and everybody from there.
So what was your physical mathematics at that time?
I was like knowledge. Okay. 11 years old.
All right.
Going from state to state. Like, first of all, the bus driver, he let us on. He'd be like, y'all ain't got no parent with you. Went, bought tokens, the little tokens back in the day, and I showed them. We actually, like I said, we went to the movies. We saw the Warriors on 42nd Street. How about that?
Yeah. Now I can remember a time where I was like knowledge understanding in the God grade because, you know, my earth had me detained in the equality grade. So,
right.
So now I'm in the God grade with my man. You know, his earth rests in the Bronx, so we go to the Bronx. You know, we go to the Bronx. You know, we get what we called at the time the zoo.
Right.
The zoo.
You talk about the Zoot Bang. You talk about the Zoot Bang?
Yeah, the zoo. So we go get some zoo. You know what? Now on our way to get the zoo, they out there doing their thing, which was my first introduction to hip hop. They got the turntables, they got the MC, they scratching and cutting, and the MC rocking. So, you know, I'm blown away at that time. I'm like, wow, I don't know what that is, but I like it.
But you like it, and you was attracted to it because no one understands. Hey, Dohunne, not to cut your story, but no one understands one thing. See, it was the music, and then it was the atmosphere, then it was the manifestation. All that shit came at you at a young age at once. The same way a lot of cats, y'all heard Run DMC, y'all heard LL and Will Smith and cats like that. And I'm talking about other states, not New York or New Jersey, not where we from.
Right.
You feel me? True. Because when they caught it and they got it, it felt so good, and it's like they wanted to be a part of it. Like we always, in everybody's life, there is one person who's always in your life and who always had a song in your life. Michael Jackson. Dohunne, how old was you? Dohunne, how old was you when Ben came out?
Probably like born years old.
When Michael Jackson, this show proved to you how the black man is God. The black man took a rodent. Rats carry the plague, the pox, all that. And rats is from Europe. They're not from here in the United States. They came over here. Michael Jackson had everybody black wanting a pet rat. Ben. And when only God can do that, only God can make you love something that's hated. But when Michael Jackson came out with that, and everything Michael Jackson did, when he had afros and puffy shirts, we did that, but we didn't do that for Michael Jackson. We did that because that was our original culture.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like me and you had a bill before, like with the Matadors. Shout out to the Matadors in Patterson. and shout out to everybody, all the marching, the step marching groups. You know what I mean? Whereas, and in the 70s, we dealt with so much Black culture that they couldn't father with us. They couldn't get with us, God.
And I found out that you was right about the Lewis being a part of the Matadors. Their grand earth, she oversee the whole thing. Now,
White Kunal is born. And their grandfather, we used to call him Granddad, he owned the laundromat by Pathmark, and he owned the laundromat on 11th Ave and 24th. Shout out to the Lewis family.
Yeah, and absolutely. Now, I was correct about the Crystalettes, because I spoke to the guy today. He was like, yeah. My grand earth, she overseeing the Matadors. And I said, now, am I mistaken about the Crystalettes? The Crystalettes was the women. He was like, yeah, they had the red and white. So, you know, that's history. That's
Indeed.
history. And it was something that kept structure in the community, you know, because you had something to do. You had something, and what they would do, I don't know if you remember this, is what they used to have called a drill-a-rama.
Right.
You remember that? The drill-a-rama.
The drill joints, why equal?
All steppers from all over come together and they do their thing.
Drills, twirling flags, even batons. Like, remember the little batons with the little white joints?
Right.
My sister Tammy, who you had the pleasure of being with, that's my sister who raised me. I actually never had an older brother, but my older brother figure was my sister Tammy Watson. Shout out to Tammy Watson. And it's like, we did that. We learned to fight. Like I said, in Patterson, everybody, King Son. Right, I really don't claim Patterson because I don't claim the negative. But the time, what I do recall from Patterson, 12th Ave and 24th, which is like, that's the epicenter of Patterson, 12th Ave. Shout out to Medina and them in Ground Zero, Lil Curtis Coleman, the guard Medina. Shout out to them. But when you lived on 12th Ave, from 6 years old, we had to fight. 12th Ave used to fight School 13, which we call Mastergram. 12th Ave used to have to fight Governor Street, 10th Ave, 5th Ave, Alabama Projects. But you couldn't really fuck with 12th Ave because we could fight. And we did like you used to do 17th Ave, Dohunne. Like the older brothers, put these gloves on.
Absolutely. Get your skills sharp.
Get your skills sharp. Bop, bop, bop. If you get beat up, don't worry about if you get beat up or hit. What did you do wrong? You used to say, what did you do wrong?
Yeah, there you go.
I ain't bob when I should have weaved. I ain't do this. All right, so now bob and weave, put the gloves back on, go back in there and get your ass whooped. It wasn't an ass whooping. It was a lesson.
It was training. You was training. You was getting yourself trained. See, this is what we're missing with the young brothers. The young brothers so afraid of getting a black eye or a bloody nose, they pulling guns out. You know, they fighting with guns, and you don't get a do-over. Like you just said, with the boxing, you get a do-over. Joker hit you, okay, you shake it off, you get a do-over. Joker shoot you, 9 out of 10 times you don't get a do-over. It's over.
Hey, but Dohunne, let me say something. When we used to go to East Side, I was a freshman, you was like a senior and shit like that. Somebody had a gun and we went to the sock hop at East Side. You was like, boy, is you stupid? A gun? What we need a gun for? Nigga, who we killing? We bop, bop, bop. Guns was goofy to us. We don't need no guns. Even when you watch the Warriors movie, what does Cyrus say? Bring 9 dudes from your crew, wherever you from, no guns. The white boys bought the gun.
Absolutely.
Of course, no disrespect. White boys really can't fight. Like, see, we fight because boxing is called a sweet science. A sweet science. You taught us boxing, Dohunne. And when you and Kwame taught us boxing, you also taught us training. You taught us eat right. And it's like, fucking with Shadi, man, this shit is harder than just being a regular 85%. If you want to be God and you wanna know what's cool, you better have knowledge. You better know how to speak. You better speak languages. Better know how to build, and you better know how to fight and protect yourself, or you can't run with us. That was 17th Ave.
And that's what it's about,
White and I was born.
Respecting yourself, respecting others, but being able to protect yourself if you have to, and protect others.
Indeed.
And that's what we got to bring to these young brothers. They got to get this because, let's fast forward to the 80s where, where they started labeling the 5% nation
as a gang,
Earth as a gang, and then, the police start snatching
treating us like a gang. But hey, Dohunne, go deeper into that. Go deeper into that. Now as we build, and y'all know I don't fuck with New Jerusalem, I don't fuck with Jersey like that, but I'm gonna show you how much of a humanitarian that I am. Dohunne, you was one of the dudes fighting, what's his name, from Lean On Me? Not Morgan Freeman. What was the original dude's name? Joe Clark told us, because we rocking kufis and our Earths wearing 3/4, we ain't real Muslims and we can't dress like that in East Side High School. You was one of the fighters, Dohunne.
Absolutely. And because it was
Dohunne, you was a student. You was an A student. You was athletic. And then we got the Talbot family who played football for y'all, who was the guards. You understand? We got Eustace McGuire, Hadu, who was nice in baseball. We had Kushan Cooley, who was nice in basketball. Like, we had it all, but we came to East Side as the guards, and we came as one unit. Alabama Projects, 5th Ave, 17th Ave, 12th Ave, School 13. That was a rush that Joe Clark, who came from L.A.
Don't forget G Street.
Nah, we can't forget Governor Street. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shout out to Governor Street. Shout out to 16th Ave, Straight Street. So if I gotta run through the whole, if I gotta run,
only reason I brought G Street up because that's where I came from before.
That's where you came from. You from Governor Street. Yeah. But the science was, God, when you fought and you were actually the product of the environment, because Andre Hill, pardon me for shouting your government, the guard is a senior, all straight A's. The guard had about 30 cats acknowledging him, looking like you had motherfuckers, like if you saw a motherfucker cutting or, yo, God, yeah, where this bar? I was in class and I heard you was cutting class, God. Yeah, come to the block and bop, 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 bop. 17th Ave used to be, you got fucked up if you ain't know your lessons, if you ain't go to school, if you wasn't dressed right. You know what I mean? It's like,
and what it was about is structure. Structure
and discipline. Born.
You know what I mean? That's what all men should have, structure and discipline. If you don't have structure and discipline, you go into chaos.
Right. And you could be easily led in the wrong direction. Which is 85%.
Right. So as the 5%er, 5 representing the power of refinement. In the completion of that refinement, that's what it was about.
And we had to be clean. We had to be reverent, like Boy Scouts. But it's like this was held to a street standard. Like, yo, God, God, how you doing in your classes, God? Or if you failing your classes, God, you can't really fuck with us. It wasn't cool to fail fucking with you, Dohunne.
No, because
it wasn't cool to be failing. Like, yo, God, what you don't know about mathematics, what you don't know about speaking Spanish, what you don't know about. And it's like, that's where we are right now, because why does the devil teach and keep our people illiterate? So that he could master them.
Absolutely.
But if we got knowledge of self, and we got knowledge, and we taught by brothers like Dohunne, and we taught by brothers like Joaquin and Kwame and them, if we taught by natural born and born justice, whether it's compassionate or merciful, if we taught by the gods, man, see, that's the Patterson where I come from. But I can't find that no more. I got a son, lives in Patterson, a son and daughter. My daughter's name is Moonasia I Nature. She don't practice 5% Nation. She running around fucking with gang dudes. My son's name is Allah Star Majesty. He told me he was a Hoover Crip, but he didn't realize how his father was universal. I was living in LA and I was messing with the main dude from Hoover. Hoover's a street. The dude from Hoover said, yo, let me tell you something. He put him on the phone. He said, yo, let me tell you something, young boy. He said, your pops is out here and your pops is representing God body. Your pops said your name is Allah. Your government name on your social security, all that, your name is Allah, but you trying to be Hoover. He said, have you ever been to Hoover Street out here in LA? My son was like, nah. He said, well, you know what we gonna do? He said, your pops ain't doing this. I'm gonna send you a plane ticket. You coming out to Hoover to learn what it is to be a real Hoover. And we gonna do everything, what we do to you, what we do to our youngsters. You know what my son said? Nah, I'm cool. He ain't want it. Because he knew what it entailed. You're gonna come out here, we're gonna beat your ass. We're gonna see if you a real thug. We're gonna see if you can really, and see, look, that's something that gets a bad reputation too about the gangs in LA.
Okay.
They're not thugs. You could be in a gang, but you don't steal. You don't rob and you don't lie. If you fuck with T. Rogers in them, if you fuck with Tukey in them, you got to abide by some shit. There's rules to this game. Whether you God or you blood or you Crip or whatever you fucking doing, there's rules to it.
Structure and discipline.
Why now was born. Bring it all back to that. Yeah, that's the foundation.
Yeah, you got to have that structure and discipline so that you can be able to know the difference and be able to walk through hell to get right. You know what I'm saying? Because too many of us is loving hell and refuse to get right.
Why knowledge born. So either you love this hell you're going through or born to be right, which is righteousness. And you taught us that, Dohunne.
And we're missing that nowadays. And it's time to bring that back. So it's a benefit for you and I to come together and bring about hip hop, the gods and earth, you know, and
raising our community. And really all this is the structure of what makes a black man and or woman, because regardless to how we feel, these young brothers and sisters, the Nicki Minaj's, not Cardi B's and them, whatever, all of them is our future, but the devil, that brings us back to another degree. Why does the devil teach and keep our people illiterate? again, so that he can master us. As long as we ignorant,
long as you're illiterate, you can be controlled.
You can be controlled. You can be directed. You can be,
manipulated.
You look at a lion. Like when I was born, you look at a lion and how a lion moves, or cats from Africa. Then you look at sheep. Sheep, they all in a herd, but they can be corralled. Cows and all that can be corralled. But you cannot corral no lions. Lions roar, sheep's bah. And that's what our culture has become.
It's time to reestablish who we are as a people.
Michael Knowledge Barnes.
Now, I want to, bring, because you had mentioned something before we were speaking about how we got to this situation with the crack era.
You don't really want to go there, Dohunne.
I take my part. I take my responsibility.
I don't know. You no, I know what you're saying. It's like under your tutelage from Knowledge God Avenue. Knowledge God, like respect the God, and you had the respect of the gods on that block. And we ain't gonna name no names. We ain't gonna go into it, but they fell a victim to the crack era because it moved swift, it paid lovely.
Yeah,
you was instantly popped off.
In less than an hour, you could have $3,000.
And I bear witness to it.
Right. And it caught me. It was a whirlwind. It was a whirlwind. Still young. We went from black medallions, no gold, to rocking big gold chains.
To gold and Nikes and Maximas and cars and shit. Like, yo, this nigga was broke. This nigga was pretty much homeless yesterday. Today, this motherfucker got a Maxima. Now, I'm King's son. I'm rocking with LL. I got big ass jewelry and crowns and shit. But I'm doing shows, $10,000 shows. How the fuck this dude right here, this nigga looked fly than me, and yesterday he was broke.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, it has trickled down today. Remember, as you said, the drug dealers was like influencing the rappers. The drug dealers had making just as much or more money than the rappers. So the drug dealers and the rappers, they elbow and elbow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where we got our flavor from, the Gucci's and the gold chains and the Kangol. We got our flavors from the drug dealers.
Absolutely. And we hanging out with Cold Crush, we chilling in the Fever, doing our thing. Now,
and they used to come to Patterson. They used to come to Dreamland Skating Rink.
Absolutely.
They used to come, Grandmaster Cash, Force MCs. Shout out to the Force MCs or Force MD.
Shout out.
JDL, Cold Crush, Cash, and I rock with Cash, and they are epic in our life because those of us who wanted something different, we adapted to hip hop.
There you go.
Those who just wanted money and the beat, I want to be this dude, that dude, they adapted to crack. But do the knowledge. What all y'all brothers did, and I hope y'all listening from Patterson and Newark and
New York.
and New York as well.
All over.
What you only sold crack to your own people, which was genocide. Like nowadays, let's switch to now. All these gangster rappers. How many gangster rappers killed a white person?
Haven't heard of it.
This rapper killed that black rapper. This black female rapper, she dissing this. We just being pitted like pit bulls against ourselves.